animal communicators, and welcome to this week's live and completely free just for you power training, the place to come for all your top tips, hacks and sometimes complete strategies and how you can up level your animal communication into extraordinary animal communication. We really want to help in these videos, or I really want to help you in these videos with the support of the animals and my guides, to help show you where you can up level from being ordinary to becoming extraordinary in this very vital and precious work. If you do not know me, my name is Sarah Jane LeBlanc. I'm a professional animal communicator, mentor, trainer and coach, and I have been doing this work now for just over 20 years. It's a long time. I think I've seen just about everything I could possibly see both in my own work and work with students. But one area that comes up so many times for people is the area of behaviour, and that's what we are going to drill down on today, looking at where your responsibilities lie as an animal communicator with regard to behavioural change, or should I say with regard to creating and sustaining behavioural change. So I've had a couple of calls over the last week with people who are already trained, certified, qualified animal communicators, and it's quite interesting that I have had a couple of people reach out to me and ask for some direction around creating behavioural change, because it's really quite it's not only quite a big area of our work, but it's one where there's a really high expectation as well. So I thought it was quite interesting that a few different people have reached out. It's something that we work on in my professional practitioner program, so it's a really big topic in our program. So I thought I would bring some strategies to you here today. So there's two things that I want to share with you in this week's power training around behavioural change, creating the change and sustaining the change. So the first thing that I want to share with you is this. It is not your responsibility to create behavioural change with an animal. It's not your responsibility. I feel so passionately and so strongly about this, I'm going to say it again. So if you are throwing your arms up in horror and saying, of course it's my responsibility, I'm the animal communicator, the guardians come to me because they want the dog's barking to stop, or they want their horse to stop rearing, they want their cat to stop urinating outside of the litter box. It's my job as an animal communicator to change that. That's why the person's come to me. It's just not. Bear with me. Don't switch off. If you are up in that place of horror, stay with me. It is not your responsibility to make that animal change their behavior. It's not your responsibility to shift the animal from the undesirable behavior to the desired by the guardian behavior. That's not your job as an animal communicator. What absolutely is your responsibility, 100% your responsibility, is two things. Firstly, to understand fully from the guardian what their issue is around the behaviour. What is it about this behaviour that makes it for them undesirable? Did you notice that language? That makes it for them undesirable. You want to get really clear on why this is an issue for the guardian. And then the second thing you need to do, and absolutely is your responsibility, is to get super clear with the animal and understand from the animal why this is happening, what's causing this behavior. And that is where your responsibility lies, to understand where the guardian's coming from, and then to understand what is going on for the animal. That's where your skill is, digging down into what's going on with this behavior. Why is the animal doing this? What do they believe is going to happen? What do they want to get out of it? What are they hoping for? That's where you really want to dig down into getting the fullest understanding around that behaviour as possible. I have a whole 15-step process that we move through to make sure that we get to the fullest, deepest understanding of what's going on. But not only that, but we get to the core. We get to the core issue of what is going on. So here's the thing. When you get to that core issue, when you have really dug down and you've got a really good handle and a really big overriding picture of what's going on for the animal, what causes the behavior, what drives it, what they're wanting to get out of it, when you've really dug down into all of that, then you really have this beautiful, bigger vision of what's really going on here. And it's not always what it first might seem. And then when you go back to the guardian with that bigger understanding, that bigger picture, then it not only helps the guardian understand more fully what's going on, why it's going on, but you can start to see where you can bring the resolution in. Because only, and I'm going to say this piece again too, it's very important, only when you've done that groundwork, only when you've done that depth of groundwork into the behavior can you then bring in not just resolution, but lasting, sustainable resolution. If you haven't done the groundwork and you've kind of stopped, and what I see in 20 years plus now of doing this work, I see where most people stop. We want to go beyond that and dig even more. And when you do that and you get that bigger picture and that bigger understanding, only when you've got that can you appropriately go in with suggestions for resolution and for creating that change. If you haven't done the groundwork, how can you create the change? Do you see that? If you haven't got to the bottom of what's really going on, then you're just sticking a sticky plaster on top. So that's the first piece that I really want you to take away from this training today. You have two areas of responsibility. One, to understand what's going on for the guardian. Two, to be the voice for that animal, to hear 100% what's going on and understand what is behind the behavior, what drives the behavior. Only when you've got that can you create the change. Is it possible to create change through animal communication? Of course. Absolutely, of course it is. Is that what we want to do? Of course that's what we want to do. And in most cases we can. But we can only do that. We can only do that when we've dug down enough and we've got that bigger picture. And then when we've got the bigger picture, that's where we can see where the resolution can be created. So that's the first piece of today's power training. The second piece I want to share with you is around what else you can do with digging down on the behavior. If you're listening to this and thinking, well, I don't quite know what to do and I don't know how, I've always taken that responsibility on myself. It's what the person expects of me. It's what I expect of me. If you're stuck in that place and you want to understand more about how you can work with a behavioural case and create that change, then please, you do not want to miss my free event. It's free. Completely free, a 5-day event where on days 2 and 3, because behaviour is a big topic, it's not all on behaviour, but I do spread the behaviour over two training days. I will be teaching you different hacks, different strategies for you to really set up your consultations for success, especially with behaviour, not just success with the animal, but success with the guardian too. So that's my second piece for you today. If you want to know more about this, if you want to work more deeply with this and really elevate your work from ordinary to extraordinary, and most importantly, if you want to learn where the ordinary animal communicator stops and where you can go beyond that, then you do not want to miss this event. And all you need to do is type "I'm in" in the comments below and I will reach out to you with all the details. We're just finalising the last bits and putting a new workbook together, etc, etc. So we're just pulling those last pieces together and I'll be sending that out over the next few days. So if you want to be in, type "I'm in" the comments below and I will send out everything that you need to get signed up, and I'll be my absolute pleasure to spend 5 delicious days with you, diving really deeply into not just behaviour but into many other aspects of our animal communication work, and teaching you more than 15 ways. I think the last time I did that, this was about 20 different hacks that you could take away and immediately put into place that would help you elevate your work from ordinary to extraordinary. So you really don't want to miss it. Type "I'm in" below and I'll see you at the event. Until then, as always, happy communicating.